that into my sophomore year and then got busted for smoking weed on this field trip to New York. They sent me on a fucking Greyhound bus ride back to Richmond. And I was, dude, this is a crazy story. I was on that bus and everybody on the bus had just gotten out of Rikers, the prison, going back to Alabama, and it just happened. So it's like all these AB, Aaron Brotherhood dudes, like fucking swastikas and shit. I'm like 14, bumming cigs off them. And then we get back to Richmond. My dad picks me up. We go to in front of the like school board. I'm expelled for a year. So anyways, when that was happening, the way they did it was if you can get a job, you can come for just an hour and a half every other day. I was like, no problem.
Yeah.
So I went and started dishwashing at New York Deli in Carytown.
Oh yeah.
Germans bumped all over. They bumped the city that I grew up, that I was born and grew up. My father used to have a tailor shop. He lost everything. He lost his machines, his furniture, everything. He had to start from zero. It was me, my father, my grandmother, and my brother. I watched my grandmother make the bread.
Yeah.
Everything was homemade back then. She had to make the bread with her hands.
Oh, wow.
So I learned how to make the bread, and I made it when I opened Stella's. I started making the bread there, but with the hands every day.
Yeah, so I mean, my story is a lot like you'll probably hear a lot of chefs' story. So I started as a kid. I was like 14 years old, just to make some pocket money. I started working, washing dishes at a restaurant in my neighborhood, and something happened. I think one of the cooks either got fired or quit or something, and they put me on a prep station, and it just kind of went from there. When I graduated high school, it was in 1983. The economy was kind of jacked up, you know, jobs were hard to find, and so I got a job in the restaurant industry again, and I just kind of
Then I started working at Citizen. The owner, Greg Johnson, was like this 65-year-old dude that had been around Richmond. And he's a fucking hard ass. So that was my first introduction to getting like reamed out, told to like be small and shit. Yeah, it sucked. It was fucking torture. I'd go in there with crippling anxiety every day. But I learned a shit ton. I got fired from there. At that point, I had already started working at Pasture.
Foresee this. Yeah. Is it because I was too involved, because I had a lot of responsibilities and everything, I was working long hours? I just, every day that I was passing, it was successful, I was thankful. And I said, tomorrow I'm going to do better. And that's how I was going from day to day. Nothing to foresee ahead of time, nothing.
Oh wow. Well,
No.
yeah.
I say the negative, depending on how you want to look at it, could be the long hours, you know, could be the stress, things like that. I wouldn't consider myself a huge people person, but that's a big part of my job too, you know, managing personalities. You know, you can have some kitchens that doesn't have the proper leadership, you know, and I think that affects the culture, right? Like if it's kind of lackadaisical, you're allowing guys to come in looking sloppy, out of uniform, coming 15 minutes late, you know, not really paying attention to detail. Is the plate clean and wiped and that kind of thing? So you have to kind of create that culture if you're in a position of leadership. And I've been in some kitchens where there was no leadership or just not very focused leadership, and so the culture doesn't really exist.
I fucking love this shit. Like I was all for it at the time.
And then one day I was strolling with him on Main Street, that little corner that Roland's restaurant is now, and that minute that after had the conversation, I said, I can make this corner work. And we got in and we fixed it. I've done well there for 8 years.
Yeah.
The little corner.
I've been doing it now for 40 years. And so I feel like that it was chosen for me.
Yeah.
You know, it was a path chosen.
Dave Alanea, who he's hands down the scariest dude I've ever worked with in a kitchen.
Yeah.
And he's like this tall and like 85 pounds. He is the most talented dude I've ever worked with. And he is like the most angry motherfucker you've ever met in your entire life. He's really cool outside of work. Inside of work, I was on my fucking P's and Q's. My parents' dog, like my childhood dog died, and I got a call at work being like, Supal died, and I was like fucking devastated. Family member, basically, you know what I mean? And I remember like getting down underneath my low boy station and being like, God fucking damn it. And then I get up and I look at just like, pull it together, man. Like it was like I didn't want to leave because I was fucking scared of him.
Yeah,
But he's scared. And he's I've been fucking thrown this dude fucking a football field. But
yeah,
it wasn't about that.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, you're scary. And you're tiny. It doesn't make any sense.
Man.
No, he was the same way though. So he would like stay late. Stay like really fucking late.
Yeah.
Not getting paid for those hours, mind you.
Then I worked in a Lebanese place. I learned there. I learned how to make kibi. I learned how to make hummus. I learned how to make tabbouleh. I learned how to make falafel.
Oh.
Yeah, I did. I learned.
That's good. Yeah.
I was eager to learn other things too.
Yeah. That's good.
And then I applied them in my menu.
Yeah, I mean, I've had several mentors. I can remember when I was a young man, I needed to purchase a car, and my credit wasn't that great. You know, I wasn't here, so my family was away from me. You know, I was in another state, and he actually co-signed for me. So just things like that, you know.
Have it natural. I don't. Like I have to read a lot, watch a lot of shit, and then you'll meet some fucking dude like Dave or Tomo, and they're like a never-ending well of good ideas.
To learn how to make dishes, to eat, and everything. But I was always interested. I wanted to make. If I started the dish, I wanted to make it the best to whatever my intelligence allowed me to make. And I always wanted the best of the ingredients.
Yeah.
We had a lot of success. I grew up here, so I worked all the best hotels in this area, all the best restaurants in this area, and I had an opportunity as a young man, I think I was 22, 23 years old, to leave the country and go work in the Caribbean for a hotel company that I was working with, Hyatt Hotels. So I got formally trained. I went to Baltimore International Culinary College and got my associates there, and I just kept rolling. I cook every day just because I love it.
Yeah.
But even when we have a full staff, if I'm not behind the line cooking, I'm prepping something, I'm creating something.
Yeah.
Like I'm a cook's chef. You know, I don't necessarily want to be that kind of pencil pushing chef.
Yeah. So do you think that something that's made you, or the thing that's made you like stick to being a chef like your entire life, is it just the love of cooking? Like
it is, and it's the success that's come with it. And again, the people that I've met along the way, like having the opportunity to just travel doing this.
Yeah.
You know, so it's been, when I look back at it, it's been fun. I've met some really great people from all over the world.
And it's like, it's pretty fucking nuts. It's not like a restaurant at all. It's like 150 dudes, 7 days a week, 3 meals a day. All of them are like at the rock bottom of rock bottoms. Most of them just got out of prison from like 20 plus years.
oh wow.
And you have no kitchen staff. It's me and like 12 fucking dudes that just never cooked before.
Yeah.
You know, they're just participants. So it's pretty gnarly, but it's really rewarding, and it definitely does not make you want to get fucked up. Yeah, there was a lot of like goulashes and shit served before
Yeah,
I started working
yeah.
there. So I gave myself like a 5-year plan of I want to stay there for 5 years and get the ship in the right direction and figure out what I want to do afterwards.
Yeah.
Not a forever job, but it's cool for right now.
But as a younger man, I think I've always put work first, you know, and it's never a good thing. You have, like anything in life, you have to have that balance, right? And that's one of the reasons I took this job, is because there, like I mentioned, you know, the 2 months of downtime, you know, you get to spend with your family. And then here, there really aren't any late nights like there would be in a place, maybe like a freestanding restaurant. You know, you get done with your shift, everybody goes to the local bar or whatever and have a beer, and you know, all the other restaurant people are over there and everybody's talking shop all night. You know, I've been there, but that's been years ago. Like now, when I leave work, I leave work, you know, and I go home and I love on my family. So.